But hygiene wasn't just about water and soap. People trimmed their nails, cleaned their ears, and plucked their armpit hair with terrifying enthusiasm. Monks had strict grooming rituals. Nobles had perfumed gloves and tooth powders made from burnt rosemary and crushed shells, which probably didn't whiten your teeth, but at least it smelled like you tried. So how did the "everyone was dirty and smelled like fermented onions" myth begin? It likely stems from post-medieval bias, especially from the Renaissance and Enlightenment eras, where writers loved dunking on the Dark Ages to make themselves feel more, well, enlightened. Add in a few 19th century illustrators who never met a dirty peasant trope they didn't love, and voila, stinky medieval meme unlocked. To be fair, if you were a serf working 14 hours in a dung-filled field, you probably didn't end the day smelling like lavender and ambition. But the blanket assumption that no one in the Middle Ages knew how to wash their armpits, officially debunked. So yes, medieval people bathed. Not daily, not always alone, but bathed nonetheless. No, this isn't a deleted Monty Python sketch. In certain parts of medieval Europe, people accused of crimes were subjected to something called the trial by consecrated bread, or ordeal of the morsel, for those of you with a flair for ominous baked goods. Here's how it worked. An accused person, usually a clergyman, would be brought in front of a jury of solemn, probably half-asleep monks. They'd then be handed a small piece of holy bread, yes, blessed, God-approved bread, and asked to chew and swallow it. Sounds simple, right? Like communion with steaks? The twist? If the accused choked, gagged, or looked generally nervous while eating the bread, boom. Guilty. Not just, you seem suspicious, guilty. We're talking God himself is now involved, and he clearly thinks you're shady. Guilty. This method was based on the belief that divine power would physically stop a liar from swallowing the body of Christ. Apparently, celestial justice had a direct line to your esophagus. It was essentially a medieval lie detector test, but instead of wires and sweat glands, you got carbs and judgmental monks. And you thought job interviews were stressful. What's wild is that this wasn't fringe behaviour. These ordeals were sanctioned by church authorities for centuries, especially in Anglo-Saxon England. It was believed that divine intervention would reveal the truth where mortal justice failed. And because nothing says fair trial, like giving a dry cracker to a terrified man and hoping he doesn't have acid reflux. Eventually, even the church realised this was getting a little silly. In the early 13th century, Pope Innocent III, who sounds like he should have been innocent,